We should definitely not do the math on these. I don't want to know how much money I spend on video games. Ah! Hey everyone, welcome back to a new collection video, and today I want to show you my PS5 and PS4 video game collection for 2021. It was time for an update. I think my last collection video about the PlayStation was 4 years ago, almost, so it's definitely time. It grew a lot. And I watched the State of Play trailer for Horizon Zero Dawn 2, and I'm super excited about that. So this is also a little bit of inspiration for that, because I'm so in love with my PlayStation and my PlayStation 5 in general at the moment, and I'm just so excited for everything to come this year. So I wanted to look at all my babies and get them out, and thought maybe it would bring some joy to you as well. This will be a long video, but there will be a list of all the games down in the description box. So if you're just interested in a few selected titles and want to hear my thoughts and opinions about that, you can click down there. And I will also talk a little bit about collecting and my collection in general at the start. If you also don't want to hear that and you're not interested in that and just want to jump right into the first game, there's also the option there to just go there. So I hope that those chapters help you, and now let's get started. So I got my first PlayStation in 2017 in March, I think. Yeah, which was not a good timing because I bought this Nintendo Switch in the same month. And of course I was in love with my Switch baby, and I was playing a lot of Zelda, Breath of the Wild, and was just focusing on that. So yeah, not the best timing, but the offer was so great. I bought it for like 289 euros with 2 controllers, I think 1 terabyte of storage, and Horizon Zero Dawn. And this was like the last thing, the last drop that filled up the bucket of my wishes and hopes and dreams for a PlayStation, and me craving it, because this game looked so awesome, and it is awesome. But I actually did not start playing it until like autumn of that year. So I got the PlayStation and I also bought a few games for it, but I think I started playing it at the end of 2017, and then also not played it a lot because I had my Switch. I think this changed like 1 year ago, 1.5 years ago, when I started to play more on my PS4 and yeah, enjoying those games there. I think the Switch was always my main baby because I just love the portability. Just the thought of starting a big game and then not being able to just play it on the train or when I visit my parents or when I go on a business trip. This was just like so, yeah, it felt so backwards to me, and I was so afraid that I get hooked on a game and then I have to stop, and I'm forced to stop, and the Switch is so easy to just bring with me, and not just the Switch itself but also the dock. So this was always stopping me a little bit from starting those big amazing adventure titles on the PlayStation, because I always wanted to have everything available and portable with me. But of course this also changed a lot now during the current lockdown. And another boost was the PlayStation 5 release, and I'm still so happy, and I was so lucky to get my hands on one. Of course, it took a lot of effort and 2 weeks of living next to my PC constantly and checking websites and shops and forums and everything just to get one, but I finally managed it, and I'm so happy to have my PS5 as well. So this is why we're starting with the PlayStation 5 collection and my little growing collection. It's just 4 games, but I love them all, and I'm like, oh, it's something new to collect, it's something new to start with, and this just makes me really happy. So, but yeah, I think the last 12 months were big for my love to PlayStation and PlayStation games, and this is why my collection grew a lot. So now, finally, let's get started. And I try to sort them like genre-wise, so we have RPGs and action adventures together, and more shooter games, or also sports games. There are some sports games in the end, but like for the PlayStation 5 titles, as there are only 4, we're just starting with those. And it's a mixed bunch, to be honest. But yeah, first one is Spider-Man Miles Morales, and I got the Ultimate Edition. I have started playing it, but haven't finished because there were a lot of other games, as you can see. But I definitely wanted to have the Ultimate Edition. I was thinking about not buying this one because it was quite expensive, and this is also one thing I wanted to mention with my collection as well. For the Switch, the games are really stable in price. You can buy it for day one, or you can buy it day 100, and it's almost no difference. There's like a €5 difference in price. With PlayStation games, the price drops are huge. And there's also the PlayStation Plus games that you get every month. I think like Final Fantasy Remake, you got like 1 year or 1.5 years after it was released for free. So there is a good reason to be a little bit more hesitant with first day buys for PlayStation games. And of course, there's also the example of Cyberpunk. So I'm usually holding off on buying the games on day one, and I just wait for them to get cheaper over time. And usually my buying mark for PlayStation games is around 20 to 30 euros. This is where I'm like, yeah, okay, it won't get that much cheaper very soon. I have the feeling that like some really good games like Ghost of Tsushima, they're stuck at the 40 euro mark when they're like a little bit reduced, but usually game prices come down really, really fast. So I think this is also part of the fun of the collecting, getting good bargains, and this is even easier for the PlayStation than for the Switch. But yeah, this one I got on day one because my boyfriend got his PlayStation 5 delivered on day one, 19th of November. We don't understand how he got that lucky. And it's not just that he got a pre-order, but also that his pre-order got delivered on day one, because like other friends pre-ordered on the same day, and they had to wait until January for their console to be delivered, and they had a pre-order. So he got his on November 19th, and this was just amazing. And I was like, okay, come, we have this amazing console here. We have it day one. We're super lucky people. I just want to have like a little taste of next gen vibes and games. Let's just get Spider-Man. And I also got the Ultimate Edition because I never played the first one, and people are raving about it. They love it. They say it's amazing, and it is amazing. It's just such a great feeling to move this seamlessly through New York and see everything, and it just feels so amazing. So I don't regret it. I regret a little that it was that expensive and I got it on day one, and now we're half year later, and I think you can get it for like 50 euros. So I could have gotten another game for the same price, but it's fine. It's fine. It was the first day PlayStation 5, and I always remember that day. Second PS5 game I got around Christmas was Sackboy Big Adventure, and I like this game a lot. It's really fun, it's really cute, and if you like platformers, and especially if you like Nintendo games, and I think that the PlayStation has more mature adventure, shooter, RPG, especially Japanese RPG elements to it, and like a little more cartoony, quirky style of game is more at home at the Switch. But if people love that and they are looking for something like that on the PlayStation as well, I can highly recommend Sackboy. It's really, really fun. The levels are so well made. The quality is amazing. It's not as good as Astro's Playroom, because Astro's Playroom is just it's on another level, and you won't hear a lot about this in this video because I'm just talking about my physical collection. Of course, I also have a digital collection, but I think we'll do another video about that. But yeah, but this also was like 70 euros when it came out, and I thought this was too expensive for the game it is. I got it around Christmas because I was in a Christmas spendy mood for around 50, but actually this is also still too much for me. I think this is a great game for like 30 to 40 euros. But it's amazing, especially with a family or with people you can play together with. And it's not just PS5 exclusive. You can get it on the PS4, and I think it will look as amazing on that. So love it a lot, and I'm happy to have it in my collection. Then I think the next one I got was another one, but we'll start with this one. It's Immortals Fenyx Rising. I was totally hooked by this when I saw the first trailers about it. I was like, ooh, yay. And I was a little sad because I actually planned on not buying that many Ubisoft games because of the controversy and the sexual assault stuff going on at that company, and also things you heard about the company culture and spirit and attitude towards not just women but also female protagonists in games, and how also the game development and the storylines of the games that were created at Ubisoft were like tainted by those beliefs that you have to be really masculine. Like for example, Assassin's Creed Odyssey had supposed to have like a more more bigger story and more stuff for Cassandra, but it was, yeah, brought down, and there was not that much with Cassandra to do. Or no, Cassandra, this was like the first one where you had like the choice between the female and the male protagonist, and you could play the whole game. But I think with Syndicate, they wanted to have the sister as a bigger spotlight, but then they put it down because some really toxic masculine management people said, no, people don't want to play with girls. So yeah, look at Horizon Zero Dawn. And I know they brought it to the other games as well, but usually I thought, I will hold off buying Ubisoft games for some time, because I think they have some tidying up to do and some cleaning in their company culture, and hopefully in a few years I can support them again. It seems like they're not learning that much, and it seems like I'm not the best with my, the things I want to do, and then not sticking to it because I got the game. Because it just looked so amazing. It's a wild-like. It's just like the new category of Breath of the Wild inspired games, and I love Breath of the Wild. It's like my favorite game, or one of my favorite games, and I played hundreds of hours of that game. So having a similar experience again just was really appealing to me. And to be honest, the PS5 edition, I was thinking about getting on a Switch for portability again, but it was not that well received. Like, the graphics are supposed to not be that amazing. Then I was thinking about, okay, getting the PS4 version, because then I can just get the PS5 version as an upgrade when I get my own PS5. Back then I did not have my own PS5, I just had my boyfriend's PS5. But it was like 10 euros more expensive than the PS5 version. So I decided to just go with it and got the PS5 version, and I don't regret it. And I started this game. I finished the prologue, and it's really amazing. It's has all those puzzle elements, and just feels a lot like Breath of the Wild, and I really enjoyed that. So yeah, just sad that it's by Ubisoft. And the next Ubisoft game, so I got even 2 games at the same time, this was also around Christmas, is Assassin's Creed Valhalla. But I was listening to reviews there. I think there are 2 sides to the picture. There are people that really enjoy this game and think it's really well crafted and it's a good experience and it feels nice. And there's the other side that say the story is so stupid. All the bits and pieces you find in the world, like all the letters, are just so stupid, and like the story writing is just plain bad and lazy. But I still decided to get it because I thought it was also be a great experience during winter time to go through Norway and North England and have the Viking style stories. And I'm also a sucker for Assassin's Creed. Not actually the newer Assassin's Creeds, but I'm still hooked on the traditional ones. You will hear about that quite soon. Yeah, still got it. I started also playing that one. Did not play a lot because my perfectionism came into the way and went into the way, and I thought like, oh, I have to collect everything in Norway before I start heading off from Norway to the other parts. And yeah, this was a little bit overwhelming and a little bit too much because this is a huge big game like Odyssey. It's and in Origins. It's, if you want to do everything, you have to spend hundreds of hours for that. So I think I will focus more on just following the main path and finishing the game and experiencing the story and experiencing the setting, but maybe I will wait for winter again. But then there will be another Assassin's Creed out, so I don't know. So this is a perfect transition to the rest of my Assassin's Creed collection. And we're starting with my first and favorite one. It's the Ezio collection. You can still see that I got it as a bargain for 20 euros this was a Black Friday sale, I think, and it's the Assassin's Creed 2 collection. So it's Assassin's Creed 2, Assassin's Creed Brotherhood, and Assassin's Creed Revelations. And I've never played it. I started this, but back then when it came out at first, I did not play myself. I watched my boyfriend back then play it, but it was such an amazing backseat gaming experience, and I loved it so much, and I still love those Ezio collections so much. And I'm so happy that there's like a remake for PlayStation 4, and I will go to Florence quite soon if everything stays the same. Like in Europe, the cases are really going down, and we're starting to be able to have more freedom with a lot of testing, of course, and also we're getting our vaccines. I'm still waiting for my appointment, but normal life is coming back, and also vacations coming back, and I might get to Florence quite soon, and so I want to experience Florence in the game before I go there on vacation. So this is my top spot list of games I'm playing, maybe even still today. I will play it today. And yeah, Ezio Collection still, to be honest, my favorite of the whole Assassin's Creed series. And I'm still sad that there's no remake for Assassin's Creed 1 out yet. But I think they're working on that. Maybe it's not just a remake, but a completely remaster. So looking forward to that. But this was like those PlayStation 3 times. Like my love for PlayStation started with the PlayStation 2. I always wanted to have it for SingStar. But then with PlayStation 3 and also this ads that were on TV with like in-game graphics, and then you saw like this Altair scene where he was murdering one person, or not murdering, but like walking through the people, and it just felt so, what? This is what video games can do? They can be that fluent and look that amazing, and it's just a console? Wait, what? So I know that Assassin's Creed 1 was a big thing back at the time. For me it was like that. I mean, I was 15 back then or so. So I was really impressed, really impressed. And yeah, would love to play that as well on the PS4 or even on the PS5. Haha, we have another option now. So then we have Assassin's Creed Black Flag, because I own Assassin's Creed 3 for the Wii U and for the Switch, the remaster for the Switch. So it's not part of my PlayStation 4 Assassin's Creed collection, as I have it for the Switch, and this is fine for me. I know it's a little weird to not have it here in the collection. It's quite cheap. Maybe I should just get it for like €5 as a used copy and just to cram it in. But yeah, but Black Flag came after 3, and it's supposed to be one of the best as well. So I think there's like two sides of people that with the classic Assassin's Creed, this classic adventure Assassin's Creed before they went into the remake of the whole formula and the new battle system. There's people that say, no, the Ezio Collection Assassin's Creed 2, those are the best. And then there's people that are like, no, Black Flag is just the best. I think nobody says that Assassin's Creed 3 is the best. People did not enjoy that as well. But there was a Smosh video created, a song about Assassin's Creed 3. This was amazing. Tomahawk. This was amazing. I still remember that. Oh my god, Smosh. This is ages ago. And yeah, Assassin's Creed 3 Black Flag. Assassin's Creed 4, but Black Flag. And it was inspired because you had some pirate ship passages. Is this the right pronunciation? I don't know. During Assassin's Creed 3, and this also inspired because people like this a lot, and now in Assassin's Creed Black Flag you can be even more open with that. So this is why people love it a lot, and I think it was also inspiration for Sea of Thieves. Yeah, and then I think the whole line declined a little. I don't have Unity here. I have Rogue as a remaster for the Switch as well. So yeah, I did not get Unity because there were issues with the save files getting broken very easily, and you're losing everything, and it was even a big issue that could not be patched out. So if you get like copies of that, you just have to deal with that, and I was not willing to spend my money on that. I think it's better for PC, but for PlayStation they were not able to do anything about it, so did not get it. I think this was also the turning point in quality for the Assassin's Creed titles. Syndicate came after, and yeah, people were kind of getting bored with them, and also them coming out every year, so the quality, technical quality, but also story quality was just declining, was just more of the same. So I think Ubisoft decided to set it aside, and I think there's 3 studios working on the Assassin's Creed titles, and they're changing up. So and they decided to leave 1 year out, make a break, and don't bring out a new Assassin's Creed. And then they came out with a new revamped version. So this was like the renaissance of Assassin's Creed, with a new battle system, a new style. And this was also for me the turning point and the shift from more action adventure games to RPG games. And the games became bigger and more open worldy and everything like that. So the first one was Assassin's Creed Origins. I'm super interested in that. I wanted to get it, and I was interested in like how the difference was made, how they renewed the formula and the changes they made, but I'm not the biggest fan of the ancient Egyptian setting, to be honest. Don't know why. It's just my personal thing and taste thing. It's just not a setting that speaks to me that much. I'm more happy, and I was super interested in Assassin's Creed Odyssey because, like, ancient Greek and Greek mythology, this was also big selling point for Immortals Fenyx Rising. Like, give me a like a Zelda-like game with Greek mythology mixed into it. Hello, I'm sold. And same goes for Assassin's Creed Odyssey, even though you can hear it's still packed, because in my head I have this weird thing why I wanted to start at first. I want to play Assassin's Creed 2 first, and then I go on into the series. And I know there is like a backstory. There's a big story combining everything with the what is it called, Nexus, or like stuff that they remember, and they are going back in time with the blood of the ancestries, but it's not a big part of it, so you don't have to play them in order to get that story, even though I think Ubisoft even abandoned it and did not care a lot about it. I think it would be better if they just really abandoned it, if they just not pretend that this was still a thing, that there's like a closing main story around it, but that it's, yeah, they are just not interested in carrying on with that. So there's actually, like with the Final Fantasies, I think there's no reason to play them all in chronological order, but still I'm like, yeah, no, I still want to do that. I want to play the classics first, and then I go on to them and them and them, even though I was super interested in Odyssey. I did skip that with Valhalla. I started Valhalla, but I'm still like, yeah, but I should play Assassin's Creed 2 first. It's still the first one in my collection. I have to do it. And yeah, this is something you will see. If you haven't watched a video of mine, other people that already have watched them, they already know that I'm a big fan of having all the pieces of a series together. And when I want to play it, I want to start with the first one. And I'm collecting a lot not for playing. To be honest, if I want to play all of that, I will be a grandma when I finish. So, because I also am a perfectionist, or like I'm a completionist, and if I play a game, I want to complete it all, and otherwise it doesn't feel like finishing the game, really. It just feels a little bit like defeat, and therefore for me a playthrough of a game is not just like 20-30 hours standard stuff, but it's like 100 hours with everything and 100%, and games are getting bigger and bigger and bigger, and I feel more overwhelmed, and this paralyzes me and keeps me from just starting the games and just enjoying them. So it's weird getting even more games and playing fewer games because I have more games. Huh? But yeah, let's not talk about that here. This is maybe a story for another one. There's still so many games. I have to go faster. Okay, there's Horizon Zero Dawn. We talked about this already. I would say from all my PlayStation games, this is my favorite. I have The Witchers in my hand, and I love The Witcher, but this was just so new, so fresh. Female protagonist, the story blew my mind. You play along and you're like, okay, could it be something like that? I know there's an apocalypse, but why and how and stuff, and then when you get the full picture and how it happened and what happened back in the day, you're like, what? Oh my god. And it's so close to home. It just feels like nothing they just made up that's super sci-fi. This game sometimes plays like 50 years in the future, and sometimes like a few more. I don't want to spoil too much, but like the stuff that's happening does not feel that unreal, and I had to think about that story a lot after finishing the game. I still, it just came up in my mind, and was just thinking about the story background of it and implications for our modern world and what we're doing here, and I'm like, wow, if a video game manages to do that, this is just art. And it's beautiful. It's beautiful, and the mechanics are amazing, and it did not do something really creative and new in gameplay wise, but it took a lot from other games and made it a little better. Maybe not even perfected it, but just made it better and more well-rounded, and put the best stuff from other games together, and just a beautiful, beautiful meal was created. And then the cherry on top is this amazing, amazing story that just blew my mind. And all of this together just makes this one of the best video games ever and titles that you should all really play. And I'm so hyped for Forbidden West, so hyped for the second game. I would love for it to come out tomorrow, and I think I would do nothing else. But yeah, we still have to wait. But the last trailer, like the little gameplay snippet, it was not that small, it was 14 minutes of full gameplay. Just looked amazing, And that they are bringing stuff from Zelda that I love, like a glider and a hookshot into Horizon Zero Dawn. It's just, oh yay! My dreams are coming true. I want to play this so bad. And this is a game I will get day one, pay full price. I don't even care if 90, 100 euros. It's worth every penny. Every penny. This is art. This is what video games can achieve, and this, yes. I could make a similar case for Ghost of Tsushima. It's also so well crafted. The story is beautiful. It's also open worldy, but still takes you by the hand a lot, but also just leaves a lot in the nature. There's not a lot of maps that you have to watch and where you go. It's like a golden bird showing you the way to a new quest or something. And also the weather changes depending on how you're behaving. Are you a good samurai, or are you playing dirty but efficient to save your people? And like those motifs of honor but also protection and family and tradition and new ways and colliding together seems really bound to the time, but is so modern at the same time if you just transfer it to other discussions that we're having. And so story is beautiful, artwork is beautiful, gameplay is amazing. It's not too difficult, it's not too easy, it's not too technical and crafty, but also not too easy, not too plain. And yeah, I got this gifted by Jasmine. Thanks a lot. I haven't played it a little. I started it, but then my boyfriend started playing it as well, and I enjoyed it as a backseat gamer. I loved it. I don't know whether I will play it myself again, because now I know a lot of the story, and this is like taking a little bit away from the thrill of playing it on my own. But it was such a great experience, and my boyfriend loved this as well. He says for him they are on the same level. They are amazing. To be honest, I think Horizon is a little better, but maybe I'm also biased because it's Aloy. Hello, it's Aloy. And then we have The Witcher, and I also love this. It's a little older, it's a little dated graphic-wise, but it's still so amazing, and the world is so amazing around it. I also started reading the books by Andrzej Sapkowicz, I think is the name, and I started playing it on the PlayStation and then stopped because it was announced for the Switch, and then started playing it again on the Switch, which seems weird because it's maybe not that beautiful on the Switch, but also, hey, I'm having it on the go and I can play The Witcher anytime I want and everywhere I go, so yay! And I knew that it's like a big, huge game. I played it, I think, 20 hours on the PlayStation and again 40 hours on the Switch, and I'm not even close to making it halfway through. Let's not talk about finishing, making it halfway through. So, but really, really enjoying it, and I love The Witcher, and it's such a classic, and my hopes are really high for CD Projekt Red, and then Cyberpunk came along. We'll talk about that soon. Oh, and I'm even wearing my Zelda and The Witcher crossover t-shirt. Toss a rupee to your hero. So, yeah. And of course, I completely forgot the series, the Netflix series. This was also amazing. This was just beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. So The Witcher, amazing lore, and I cannot wait for a new Witcher game, even though it won't be a Witcher game, but I think we'll play in the same world, and maybe it's a prequel, maybe we're playing with Ciri, I don't know, but I'm waiting for it. By the way, we already killed the first battery. I don't know, I think I regret the decision to film this in 4K. This is a too long video for 4K. It's just eating up battery by the minute, so... So during Black Friday, I think 2 or 3 years ago, I got God of War. I think it's 3 years ago. I and I really liked the new direction they were going, or went with the game, because like the first three might not have been my cup of tea, but this one with the sun and a deeper emotional story and showing Kratos from a different side, this speaks to me a lot, and people are raving about this game. It's also one of the most beautiful games. I think people say that like Horizon Zero Dawn and God of War are like the two most beautiful games of the last console generation on PlayStation. So yeah, super happy to have the collection. Got this one with the PlayStation 5 collection as well. Also got Horizon Zero Dawn. I bought the DLC, but now you got it for free, the complete edition, with the PlayStation Stay at Home, Play at Home event. So a lot of the games you're seeing here, I think also The Witcher is the same. Yeah, I now have digitally as well, so I don't even have to use disc anymore. But I still love physical collecting, because I just love the feeling of I have this game at home and I can just pop the disc in and then play it, even though my PlayStation might break or anything might happen to it. Even though I know I won't be able to play the patch version of that then, and there might be bugs, but still being able to access it in the future, because there are the first consoles that I was playing with, like the Wii, where the stores are shut and all the digital games you got on the Wii you cannot play anymore. And I think they found out that there's like an issue on the PlayStation 3 with the clock and the timer, or PlayStation 2, I think it's PlayStation 3, where it will reset and will reset all your save files or games or digital games you want to play when the battery, the mainboard battery is running out. And I think they fixed it now, but this also shows that video game conservation is a whole new topic that we as a community have to deal with in the future. And there are problems coming up already. And this is why I'm playing a lot of digital games. I think on PC I completely went to digital. I don't own any PC games, current PC games as discs anymore. But with the PlayStation, with consoles, I'm still hesitant, and I still love my PS5 disc version and my disc collections, and even more with the modules on the Switch. So a PlayStation classic and exclusive are Uncharted, the Nathan Drake collection, so Uncharted 1, 2, 3 remakes, and Uncharted 4, Thief's End. Haven't started them yet. Want to start them, of course. This one is still sealed, but already broken. I got it used. And there's a not to be sold separately, so I think it's from a bundle, and I got this one for €4 and this one for like €6 at a local second-hand shop. So did not spend that much money, but this is also part of the PlayStation collection that you get when you get a PS5, so don't have to open this, to be honest. Didn't just play the other version, so yeah. Death Stranding, really wanted to play that game, even spent €40 on the game, because I thought, like, I think it was 2 years ago, it was the winter of 2019 when it came out, and I was just so amazed, and there was like so many people loving it and so many people hating it, but also a lot of people saying that like there is no real goal in the game, or it's better to take your time and just wander the world, be immersed in it, and just experience the peacefulness of being slow and building something up, and building something up with the community, having the spirit of, oh, there were other people here and they built this bridge for me, I'm so happy, thank you. But also still feel that solitude, because you're alone transporting stuff in a vast world. So I was really intrigued by the concept. I'm really looking forward to playing it, but yeah, I don't know. The catalog is too big, and did not start playing it right away, and then other games came around, especially Switch games, and this is one of my biggest regrets, that I did not play that yet, because I think it's such a great and creative and new idea, and I really want to experience it, just as part of my video game literacy. This is a thing for me. I want to experience games just to be able to talk with people that like games and love games and play games, and to talk with them, and yeah. Okay, the next on the pile is the black sheep of the family. It's Cyberpunk. And this is not my game, to be honest. There are a few games here. I think 3 games of all of those 40 games are not bought by myself, but this is my boyfriend's game. It came also with another packaging and with extras and stickers and the map. There are the stickers, but the map and the cardboard outer layer, it came with it, but they are not here, so I cannot show you. Yeah, it's a mess. And I think it's an amazing game and it's really interesting. I played it a little. We played it on PS5. You played it. I started playing it on PS5 like 10 hours, so there were not that many issues. But with PS4 and especially with my PS4 Slim, it's unplayable. So my plan here is to wait for another year before I play it, because hopefully then the bug situation will be fixed enough for. I mean, it's not just that you cannot enjoy it or that stuff is buggy or that there are glitches or something like that. If there's stuff that hinders you from finishing a mission, and I was playing it for like 2 or 3 hours with a friend, and I already ran into one of those where the mission was not triggered and the main story, and I could not progress it and had to go back to an earlier save point, but lost a lot of gameplay, and it's just not good yet. It's just not good, and I will wait before playing it because I want to experience it. I think the idea, the concept, the art behind it is so amazing and so creative and so CG Project Red, but the execution is so lacking. Pooh. Yeah, this disappointed me a lot. And I will definitely get another PS5. I also want to wait for the PS5 version to come out, for the PS5 patch. And I want to get the PS5 version as a fixed version so that I have a fixed, bug-fixed PS5 version pressed on a disc for my collection again, because what's pressed on here is just hot garbage. Just hot garbage. But also still kind of funny. But I did not buy it. My boyfriend pre-ordered it. So, but he's new to the video game collecting world, so he did not know that pre-ordering is not the best decision by projects like that. Then we have Shadow of the Colossus. I got that really cheap, 20 euros in a bin. Thought the remake looks beautiful. I'm super interested in playing it. Gives me some Zelda vibes, but a little darker. But also got this digital with my PlayStation subscription, so don't have to open this. Yay. Same vibe for me, but a little more, also darker, but also more cartoony is The Last Guardian. It looks beautiful, and I think the story is supposed to be really heartwarming and touching and wholesome, but also sad, and the bond you build with the creature. This is stuff that makes me want to play this so bad, but yeah, same reason as with the other ones. Haven't found the time, and too many games, not enough time is like one of the main problems in my life. So yeah. Okay, I think we're leaving the realm of the adventure games now, and we're tapping into story games and then classic Japanese RPGs after that. And the first ones are like story games, so games that are more telling a story. There's not that much gameplay, and it's like an animated movie with decision making and different endings and outros and stuff that could happen and consequences. And I have 4 of these. So we have Life is Strange. People were raving about that and loved it. I started playing it. I think it's a little dated graphic-wise. So did not continue because the start seems a little slow, to be honest. And I started with my boyfriend. I wanted to play together with my boyfriend, like as a fun couch activity, and he was not that fond of it. And but I think I should just continue myself, and I think it will get better after a few hours. Not hours, but like we played like the first hour or 1.5 hours, and I think the 2 to 3 hour mark is good with that one. And because idea sounds great, and I think so many people are raving about it and loving it, so I think it cannot be bad. And yeah, so had this on my pile and got Life is Strange Before the Storm as well. And for Life is Strange 2, I think, are all episodes out now? Because I want to wait until all the episodes are out before I buy it. So yeah, still have these still on my pile of shame, but definitely pile of shame that I still want to play. Other games I also have is there are the how is he called? Not Nicolas Cage, David Cage. Jade Heavy Rain Collection. I don't know. It's like the one creator behind those games that the name I'm not remembering right now, but usually you should remember it. Doesn't matter. But we have, I got Detroit Become Human first. I thought the story seems really, really interesting. And I also love the different variations you have. Ooh, the postman's coming. Ooh, I know what's inside here, but this is for the next video. So stay curious. But yeah, I think this, the questions that are asked in the story here, how we treat artificial intelligence and robots and maybe in the future, and what will this do to our society, sounds really interesting to me. It's also part of the PS5 collection. It's still sealed, so I got it really cheap on sale, but now I also don't have to open it. And because I thought the idea of that was interesting, I also think this is like something so fun to do like as a couple, also a group of friends, because it's a game, but it's not that gamey. So I think this is also something that you can do with parents or friends that are not into gaming that much, because it's yeah, more of a movie experience with some game aspects and gameplay sprinkled into it. So a good so a good entry entry drug into gaming. So no. But yeah, this is why I think those are interesting. This is also why I got the Heavy Rain and Beyond Two Souls collection, because they are like the same genre of game by the same creator, but this is the newest one and they are the oldest ones. So, but I wanted to have them all together. And this was also really cheap, I think also 20 euros. So, JRPGs, yay! This is also a big part of the PlayStation library, always has been with Sony as a Japanese company, and this is also why Xbox is having a hard time in Japan, and the PlayStation is just the main thing over there with the Switch and Nintendo, of course. But yeah, when you compare the two big new gen consoles, the JRPG strength of the PlayStation has always been a big plus for that. So I also have some games. I had a phase where I thought, ooh, I want to experience all the Final Fantasies and do something about my video game literacy, because I've never played a Final Fantasy game. And I know that Final Fantasy 7 and 9 and I think also the 8 remake are on the Switch. And my weird brain is like, okay, which one should I do as a starter one? People say 7 is the best ever. Other people say like 9 is just the best. Other people say no, 10 and 10.2 are a perfect entry because they are not too hard and not too old, but also not too new and not too new. And the problem is I'm not the biggest RPG gal. I'm more of I like adventures, but if it becomes too RPG, especially with round-based battles, I'm like, pooh, if it gets grindy, I'm out. With Pokemon, it's when I can beat all the battles and all the leaders with ease, it's fine. But if I lose for the first time and then I have to grind XP and train my Pokemon up and go into the grass just to train my Pokemon, this is usually the point where I stop playing a Pokemon game. And this is why I'm maybe not the best candidate for RPGs. And JRPGs, but I still wanted to get a glimpse of Final Fantasy, then decided that the Final Fantasy VII Remake should be my first Final Fantasy, so I wanted to wait first. But then after they announced that they will bring it out in episodes, I was like, what? And now I don't want to get it, and I don't want to play it until the other episodes are out, because I don't want to just experience a snippet of a whole experience. I want to have the whole thing. But maybe it would be just the best if I start with 9, or I don't even own 9. It would just be the best if I start with 10, because I have 10 here, and 12, so it's Zodiac Age, and 15. But to be honest, I wanted to have those on the Switch, but on the Switch they were like still, and they were out for like 1 year or a half year, and they were still like 50 euros. And on PlayStation you can get the beautiful HD remaster for 20 euros and this one for 15 euros. And this was like the point where I said, no, I'm not willing to pay the Switch tax. I get them on PlayStation, even though I would love to have them with me all the time and have not compatibility, but the transportability, flexibility, yeah, of the Switch. So, but yeah, and 15 I got quite cheap, also on sale, and you know me, I'm a collector, and I know of course that I cannot get 14 or 11 because they are MMORPGs. 13 and 14, what was 14? What was with 13? I don't remember. There's, I thought it was an online thing as well, but the 14 was with Dragon Age. No, the 10 war with Dragon Age was a little complicated. Okay, I'm rambling. So let's get back. And another ones that I was really interested in are the Kingdom Hearts, and I never played Kingdom Hearts, as I never had a PlayStation before. I know that it was maybe the best time to get into Kingdom Hearts at the PlayStation 2 era, because then you could go one by one and maybe understand the storyline a little bit, because this is just confusing. I think it's a big meme to say, hey, do you want to explain the story of Kingdom Hearts? And then people are like, okay, do you have like half a day to spare? Because it's so much and it's so confusing and it's super weird. But I saw the trailer for that, and with Frozen and Olaf, and like just the idea of this mix with Disney characters, and I love Disney. But yeah, then I got Kingdom Hearts 3. People were not too happy about it, like the reviews were not the best, but still wanted to have it for the collection and try it out. But then saw this collection here, but there's another collection. This is like the HD 1.5, 2.5 remix, which comes with 1 and 2 and a Rechain of Memories and a few other games, but there's still like one missing. So there's another version, another bundle of all the games before that has one game more. And of course, now I think like, I'm really interested in Kingdom Hearts 3, but of course I have to play Kingdom Hearts 1 at first. And yeah, it's the same story as with every other franchise series, like the paralyzed by choice and the paralyzes by not knowing where to start and having too much expectations and too high expectations. Okay, let's get into the more cartoony, randomy games, maybe. So we have Tropico 6. I had just recently got this, quite cheap, I think, also for 20 euros, because I love simulation games, and I really enjoy simulations games, and I started playing that. I watched my ex-boyfriend play Tropico 5 a lot, and I thought it was really fun with El Presidente. And yeah, and I got this after playing a lot of Civilization again, and also Anno. I really love Anno. Of course on PC, but also some City Skylines and other simulation games, and just knowing that I love them and I like them and enjoy them and I love spending a lot of time in them. So I decided, yeah, maybe Tropico would be just great for me. To be honest, the graphics are not the best. The system is also a little complicated. I think it's not the best Tropico to start with. I think it would be easier if I had some experience at Tropico. So if they would bring like an Anno to PlayStation, I would be immediately like, yeah, I know that, okay, fine. But with this, I played it for one evening, and then the learning curve was a little too steep. And I was like, okay, I have to be patient. Okay, this tutorial is taking really, really long, and what should I do now? And okay, yeah. And then I started playing something else, like Fall Guys. I'm playing a lot of Fall Guys. And I think also, it was in December, I think Wild Rift, League of Legends Wild Rift was coming out on mobile. So I'm also playing that a lot. I played 180 hours of that, and it came out in December. So you know where my playtime budget is going to. So, but yeah, still got it, and I'm still happy for it, and I want to pick it up in a when I have some time. Then we have Overcooked and Overcooked 2. This is also my boyfriend's. This is not mine, because I have Overcooked 1 and Overcooked 2 for the Switch. I have Overcooked 1 also digital, because you got it with the, no, how is it called? With the subscription, the PlayStation Plus subscription. But he not just finished it, he's trying with a friend of his to get all the 4-star levels, and he was playing Overcooked 2 so much, but he's also really ambitious with it. So that this kind of robbed me the fun of playing Overcooked, because playing Overcooked with him, it's just, you have to be perfect and you have to get 4 stars and okay, one mistake, okay, start again, restart. And this is cancer for me. I hate that. So I actually really like Overcooked, and I think it's an amazing game. It's really great, and it was an amazing idea that they had, but it's kind of stressful, and I think it really depends on with what people you're playing it with, but it's also great for parties. So yeah, but not with my boyfriend. Don't do it. Then we have the Harry Potter collection. This one I actually got the Platinum trophy for, but for the first one, so years 1 to 4. And I bought this actually again for the Switch, because I liked it so much and I enjoyed it so much, and I wanted to play the second one on the go. And yeah, I'm a big Harry Potter nerd. I think you cannot see it, but there's like my whole Harry Potter shrine, you can call it like that. I have the books in German, I have the books in English, I have the illustrated books, I have the Blu-rays, I have all the extra books next to it, I have the trading card game, I have, oh my god. So yeah, love Harry Potter and also love that game, and like the Lego franchise with it, which is perfect, was fitting very well. And of course, when they made a SingStar remake for the PlayStation 4, I had to get it because SingStar was one of the main reasons I wanted to always have a PlayStation when I was younger, when I was a teenager. Never got one, but yeah, now I can play SingStar. It's sad that it's just those songs, and I think they cut off the server for those PlayLink games and you cannot get more songs. I bought a few more songs, but I cannot re-download them again, so this is sad. I really like it, I really enjoy it, I really like that you can use your phone as a microphone and it's just perfect for playing with friends. Of course not at the moment, but in general. But yeah, the song choice is really slim, and that's a little sad. And then we have Little Big Planet 3, which is also a big classic, was like, I think, one of the first titles for PlayStation 4, and also really creative with creating your own levels and stuff like that. And was inspiration for Sackboy Big Adventure, and also Sackboy becoming like a little mascot for the PlayStation, and this is also why I wanted to have it, and I think I got it used for €8 in a second-hand shop, but haven't played it yet. And we're on the finish line, people. It's almost over. There's not that many games anymore. We have some multiplayer and shooter games and some sports games, which I don't have to talk a lot about because they're mainly not mine. But we have Monster Hunter World. Played it a little. Was a little bit overwhelmed. Also just had like 1 month trial subscription of PlayStation Plus and decided to try it out, and then my friend group did not join me in playing again, and I was too afraid and yeah, too embarrassed to play it with random players because I thought it was too bad. So this was not my entry into the Monster Hunter series, but now with Monster Hunter Rise we're playing this a lot and I like it a lot, even though some friends of mine, they really love it and they play it a lot, and I play it a little and I kind of like it, but I'm not investing that much time, and so I'm behind. I'm like Hunter rank 3 and they are Hunter rank 5 already, or 6, and they're so experienced, and I always have the feeling that I'm dragging them down. And I think also Monster Hunter, it's not like Splatoon and you can just play for like 20 minutes and it's fun. I love Splatoon, but you have to spend your 1 hour, 1.5 hours to do 1 or 2 or 3 of those monster hunts, and Monster Hunter just feels like a commitment. It's not like, oh yeah, have some fun, yeah, let's play something, yeah, it's fun together. No, it's like, okay, we play Monster Hunter, everyone has his job, his or her job, you know what to do, we get a monster, I need that and that to craft that and that, and where do we go here, and it's a little much, too much work business style to be a game for me. But it's kind of fun. I like the team and multiplayer aspect of it. And I'm also thinking about giving Monster Hunter World another trial, because it's also part of the PlayStation 5 collection, and even with the DLC, the Iceborne DLC, I think. So now that I know more about Monster Hunter and I get the mechanics more and I understand how the game is working, because Rise is, I think, much more beginner friendly than the World, I might be ready to step into World again. So, but yeah. Then I have a few games that I got as a mystery box, and so I thought, yeah, that would be fun to pick up just a mystery box on eBay with like 5 used games or 6 used games and do a video about that. And I did that, but I lost the footage because I lost the SD card. So it was never uploaded. And the games, to be honest, are not my cup of tea mostly. And the Elder Scrolls Online Morrowind would be my cup of tea. I love the Elder Scrolls. I played Skyrim, I played Oblivion on the PC. So, and I'm really excited for the new one, even though I will have to get an Xbox for that, but okay. I'm not, there's no bias with me. I love all the consoles. I have an Xbox One. I will give that to a friend, and if Xbox Series X, One X is coming into my home, this would not be the worst thing to happen in the world. So yeah, I know I'm a collector. I'm weird. I spend too much money on video games. But yeah, but what is weird for me is that, like, this is an online game and it's a used copy. So was the thingy in here already used? Can I still use it? Can I still play that? do I have to pay a subscription? And this seems like such a big MMORPG that I'm hesitant to get into it. So from the pack, I was interested in that, but it's too overwhelming for me. So yeah, no, haven't tried it, and I don't think I will, because I think it's just, I'm too late to the party to start with Elder Scrolls Online in 2021. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. Same thing for those two. Titanfall 2, even though it's supposed to be quite a good game, but I think it's also part of the PlayStation Plus games, and Killzone Shadowfall. I'm not good with shooters. I love shooters, like Splatoon, which people would say, well, it's not a shooter, it's a kid's game. But I also got Doom for the PlayStation and tried it out, and for the Xbox, Doom Eternal, and I can really enjoy that. I never thought I would, but with The Witcher, I noticed that I can enjoy just some good old monster slashing and blood, and yeah, it's fine. But I cannot play a shooter with a controller because the aiming is just so hard. And this is what I love about Splatoon, that you have gyro aiming, that it's like so intuitive and so fun and so amazing. And I know the PlayStation 5 controller can do it, and I know the PlayStation 4 controller can do it. If you play, for example, Horizon Zero Dawn on a PC with the PlayStation 4 controller, which is possible, you can use gyro aiming. And gyro aiming is just the best thing that ever happened to console players that want to play shooters and aim better. And I still don't understand why so many games, so many first-party Sony games and games on consoles don't use gyro aiming. And if a game does not have gyro aiming, I'm out. I'm just bad. Maybe I should train it more. I even got Doom, the first Doom, for the Switch again for too much money, but because it has gyro aiming on the Switch. Yeah, I'm that kind of girl. So really hoping that with PS5, Sony will push gyro aiming in their first party games, but also in third party games more. Because you do not have to do it, but just give us the option. The technical option is there. How hard is it to implement it? Monster Hunter Rise has gyro aiming. Just give me gyro aiming. But yeah, this is like my main reason why shooters are not my genre of game that I like and enjoy, but maybe the future will enhance that. And then we have, yeah, let's come to the topic. Borderlands 3, same thing. I really enjoy Borderlands 3. The PlayStation 5 version of that came for free with the PlayStation 4 version is just amazing. The multiplayer is just amazing. You have split-screen multiplayer, which I think is so cool, and even 4-player split-screen multiplayer. I don't have 4 PS5 controllers, so this is the bottleneck here. But I played with my boyfriend, I started it, and we really enjoyed it. And I think this is fun. The loot shooting mechanics are really great. Like, I had my first entry into the Borderlands series of Borderlands 2, I think, back then, watching my boyfriend back then playing it and enjoying it as a backseat gamer, thinking it was kind of weird and silly and cruel and fun at the same time. But yeah, I started now and noticed that I really want to play it, but same problem. My aim is just the worst. And yeah, controller aiming, even with aim assist, is just so much harder, and would love to play this with gyro aiming. Oh, please give us gyro aiming. But yeah, still, this game is amazing. You can get it really cheap for PS4 and then have the PS5 version, and the PS5 version is just so much better enhanced and 60 frames per second, multiplayer, split screen, amazing. So if you want to enhance your PS5 library, getting Borderlands is a good option for that. And yeah, and then there's Rage 2, because I got this one also used in a local second-hand shop, but I think now you also got it in the PlayStation Plus subscription, so as a free game, because I think the story is stupid. I heard a review of that because there's like a big German podcast about gaming and video games, and I really enjoy it because they're ex-journalists from German news papers, like German gaming magazines. So they're ex-gaming magazine journalists, or even chief editors or something like that. And they're now doing a podcast. And I really enjoy listening to that. And they are kind of critical. They're really critical. They're a little bit nitpicky sometimes. And but they were saying that the story is stupid. and it's not the best, but the shooter mechanics and the hit feedback and the shooter feedback is just amazing, and it's just such a fun game that I wanted to have it. And I also got it for my boyfriend because I had not a lot of shooters, as you see. And he was like, do you have a shooter? Something like that. And I'm like, yeah, I'm getting that used at a secondhand shop when I saw it, and I thought it would be fun for him. But he then started playing Horizon Zero Dawn, so he did not need a shooter. And but yeah, this was the reason I got it, and I'm still curious to play it. I'm curious to try it out, but it has no priority. There's other games. And then we have sports games. And to be honest, FIFA 21, not my copy. This is my boyfriend's game, but I bought FIFA 20 for him for 10 euros. But I have FIFA 20, but just digital, not physical. So he got FIFA 21 because he has played FIFA a lot. He's interested in soccer a lot, and I actually kind of enjoyed watching it. I don't want to play FIFA, but I enjoyed watching FIFA, and I really enjoyed the Ultimate Team mechanics and collecting the different players and the teams, and yeah, putting them together, and yeah, also the loot box mechanic, which I know, of course, you enjoy it because it's like, ooh, it's so exciting and gambly, and it's not the best mechanic to enjoy about a game because it's really a little shady, to be honest, and also not, yeah, the best for kids and too tempting for kids, and also opening kind of the way to gambling. But yeah, he did not pay money for it, and so it was fine, and we still enjoyed it, and it was fun. He stopped a little, and he's not playing that much anymore, but I like to watch FIFA. More than actual football. More than actual soccer, to be honest. It's more interesting. And then from the pack, this mystery pack, I got those two. And my boyfriend actually tried out a newer Madden because I had the Game Pass, and the Game Pass came with EA Play, and there was a newer Madden, but on the Xbox, to be honest. No, even on the PlayStation as well. I also had it, and as he played a lot of FIFA, he was like, oh, I guess this will be nice. And it's just so complicated. So even he watches American football. He likes American football. And he knows the rules and how it works and everything. It's not that he's a noob to football. But he says, like, one game takes forever. Like, the fun part about FIFA is that you can play one game in 15 minutes and it's fine and play with your friends. But if you want to play the campaign of Madden, I think after 1 or 2 games, he said, like, no, I can't do it because it just takes so long. So long. One game takes so long, so he stopped doing that. And yeah, FIFA 18 came in this pack again. So yeah, we have FIFA 20, we have FIFA 21. Don't need it, but I have it in my collection now. 1 year ago, I was always saying I don't own a FIFA. Now I own 3. Fine. And that's it. That's my full PlayStation 5 and PlayStation 4 collection. I hope you enjoyed this video. I know I rambled a lot, I talked a lot, I lost my train of thought a lot, and put a new story in here and there and that, and this is how my brain works, but I hope you still liked it, you still enjoyed it, you maybe got some inspiration for a few new games here and there, and yeah, thanks so much for watching, for joining and enjoying this video. Stay safe, stay healthy, and see you again quite soon in a new video, I hope. Thank you, bye bye!